Welcome back to For Love of the Mix. Today I'm excited to show you a plugin by Waves called Bass Rider that makes it really easy to thicken up your bass parts without it sounding overly compressed. And the plugin works well. You can get it set and then just leave it to do its thing. It's very easy. And one of the advantages of using Bass Rider over just a standard compressor is that it preserves the inner dynamics of the signal. Once you smooth the signal out with Bass Rider, then you can use your favorite compressor to add some character, but you're going to end up with a more natural sound. So this is the plugin, Bass Rider by Waves. And just a quick overview of how it works. On top here we have a target adjustment where we can set where we want the output signal to on average be. And you're looking to set this between your highest notes and your lowest notes of the signal. Then we have our detection algorithms. We can adjust the sensitivity, what things we might want it to ignore. And this is what I find I adjust the most often based on the signal, the type of bass part. In this case, it's a slower bass part. It's not very energetic, so slow works well to get the most natural results. But if you had like a bass guitar with fast picking or an arpeggiated or staccato type bass synth, then setting that to fast will get you more natural results. We have a range adjustment where we can confine the range that the volume can be automated up or down. So if you want to narrow the range, try and tighten the signal up more, we can do that here. I found for this track, and usually I find that leaving the range wide open gives me really nice results. This is just for show. We can't really do anything with this, but it does demonstrate what's happening when we do playback. And then we have an output trim slider here that we can use to get our output just right. So let me just play back and you can see what's going to happen. So you can see as the plugin is listening to the signal, it's just trying to smooth that volume level out. And it works just like how visually we can see the attack of a note, the decay, the envelope of the waveform. Well, this can see that as well and make those adjustments based on that more so than actual loudness or volume levels. So just to demonstrate, to make it a little easier to visualize just how effective this is, we're going to pull in Fab filter. We're not doing any limiting, but we just want to see as we turn Bass Rider on and off what the outputting waveform is looking like. Okay, so you can see here where it's off and here where it was off is not nearly as even as these sections where it was on. It's not smashed to the point of being overly compressed, but it is a smoother output. And then after you smooth the signal out, then your character compressor, whatever compressor you might put on to add a little character to the signal, doesn't have to react as hard, and so you're maintaining a more natural result. So let's hear this in and out with the mix. So hopefully you can hear that. When we turn Bass Rider off, there are points where the bass just kind of disappears from underneath us. But with it turned on, it's just smooth and present and always the right level. So it makes it very easy to get your bass up into the mix and to sound very natural. So let's head to another track and see how it works on a synth part. So let's take a look here. We've got Bass Rider taming a Moog sound from Diva. And we're going to keep an eye on the limiter that I was using previously to tame those peaks. But we'll see how with Bass Rider engaged, the limiter doesn't work nearly as hard. So you can see how when Bass Rider is engaged, the limiter just doesn't have to work as hard, which means then we get a more natural result out of whatever limiter or compressor we're using on the signal. So let's hear it in and out in context of the mix. So that's Wave's Bass Rider. I think if you give it a try, you'll see how you get better control over your bass tracks without having to compress quite so much, but then it leaves you more room to get a more consistent and natural sound out of your favorite character compressors. If this was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Appreciate that very much. Share it with your other audio production friends. Maybe they've never heard of Bass Rider. And if you want, share your favorite way that you control your low end in your mix in the comments below. I'd love to learn from you too. So thanks for your time. Thanks for checking this one out. Have a great time making music, and we'll see you in the next video.